Hey SMU, I am going to be showing you guys one of the most crucial processes and systems you can have in your business. Now, in the next big module, retention, I'm going to be sharing why onboarding is so important. But for now, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, how to create your own custom process by literally bullet pointing every single step in your whole process. Now, you guys can use ours as an example, but I want you to make sure to customize this based on exactly how you want your onboarding process to go. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to use my naming convention. This is how we make sure that our files are easily found. We run most of our business out of the Google Drive, and you can too. It's free or low cost as you build it out as a team drive. So even as you scale your agency, if you choose to scale it, it's very affordable, and I literally create almost everything in our Google Drive. So we've got the naming convention, of course, right? Then we have a little note that kind of explains what this system or process is used for. So once a prospect gives the verbal or written yes, the onboarding system is to be put in place. This onboarding system is absolutely crucial and no step can be missed. You want the same experience for every single client that you onboard, even though it's in different services sometimes. You want them to have the same feel so that any person who supports you in onboarding a client can give everyone the same exact experience. So first and foremost, we send our clients the contract for signature. Now we use DocuSign, and then you can put your logins here if you want, if that feels secure for you. Upon signature of DocuSign from the client, we send over how we work, and that document we have provided, of course, a link for how we work, so you guys can use that template. I think it will be very, very helpful for you guys, and you can put that link in this version of, in your version of the onboarding system. Then I make sure that my team confirms with me the amount of the invoice and services rendered. You would, of course, replace this with whoever closes sales. Even if you are the only one in your agency, you want to still be building out these processes just to make sure every single time it's the same experience and you don't miss any steps. Then you send over the voice via PayPal. That's at least how we do it. As soon as payment is received, we thank the client and share excitement to launch. Immediately after we thank them, I schedule a launch call within 2 to 4 days of payment being received. Now, this is really, really important, and we'll touch on this more in retention, but it is so important that you recognize that the client paid you and that there's an immediate touch point after payment. So don't miss this step. Thanking the client is absolutely essential. In fact, I'm going to star this, you guys, because I don't want anyone to miss these two steps here. As soon as you receive payment, thank the client, and then get something on the books to start the launch process or a touch base to make sure that they feel taken care of. One of the biggest fear factors for most clients is when they pay someone. Their biggest fear is that someone ghosts them at that point. And anything that you can do to immediately alleviate that fear is going to improve the perception of your relationship. Then on the launch call, you're going to collect everything, whether it's email logins, ClickFunnels, you're going to get into their Facebook ads manager or business manager, whatever it is that you need for the services that you're providing. Make sure that you just go through all of these. Do you have their LastPass information, their brand standard, any testimonials or professional videos? You may not need all of these, but I recommend having these kind of as like a template, so you can say, okay, which of these do we need for each client, and take a couple minutes before the launch call to make sure that you circle which ones you need to get from the client in order to perform the services that you have committed to. Then you're going to share the expected launch date. I usually recommend a 1-week turnaround, unless of course the deliverable is bigger, like a website or it's an ongoing process. But make sure that you give them a timeline, like, okay, over these first couple days or this first week, I'm really going to be focusing on gathering all of the data, and then I'll get back to you with X, Y, and Z. Make sure that they know what the next step is and when the next touch point is, so that they're not nervous. And this is really important on the promised date of launch. If you have a launch or a deliverable, launch on that promised date. This is not just like oh, maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't. This is a hard and fast deadline. The only way that you can ever go past a deadline, it doesn't matter what happens, is if you communicate with the client ahead of time and say, hey, listen, I had something come up. My kids are home this week. Would it be all right if we were to move the deadline to Monday or move it to Friday? If not, I'll make sure that we hit the deadline. Would that be okay with you? You have to recognize that your promise to launch or deliver on an expected date is your bond. This is so important, you guys, and so many service providers get this wrong. It does not matter what you are providing to your client. This is absolutely essential because this determines whether or not that client is going to trust you forever. Your word is your bond. The expected launch date needs to be locked in unless, of course, you get permission. So make sure that you realize how important that time is. And even though you may feel like, oh my gosh, I feel the pressure to get this launched ASAP, if you have a busy week, be realistic about that and tell your client we can launch in about a week and a half, or I should have this in 2 weeks for you. Those are really important things to keep in mind. And then block out time so that you can have those things ready to go. Okay, I can't wait to see you guys build out your own onboarding system. I will catch you later, SMU.